Wow, I was sad, bro. Like that was sad. I saw that on Saturday. I watched the women's race on Saturday before we went to CIF, and like they lost. I was like, dang, bro, I really want to see them win.
I was
really
more sad about the women than the men.
Yeah.
The men, it was like Oklahoma came for vengeance and stuff, but the women, I was like, dang. But still, they got second. I think that was crazy. They never had done that before.
And like
so
what, like 2 points? 2 points, 3 points.
Yeah.
They barely got it. I think Elise Stearns just had like not a good day. Like last year, I believe she was, I want to say she was third. She was third at NCAA last year. Like she was up there. So she didn't have the day, and that really did it for the NAU women. But like, yeah, that made me sad, bro. I was like, God, dang, I wanted them to win that. But NC State, that's cool. Three feet, I guess. That's cool. So let's get into it. I'm Joshua Potts, Mr. Possible, always the brother with the same mother, Aaron Potts, Super Hot Potts, and you're watching and listening to your favorite two black runners every single
Two Black Tuesday. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thanksgiving edition. That's what we should have started off with. That Thanksgiving edition. You know, the best food comes from this holiday, hands down. There's no other holiday that competes food wise, unless you celebrate Juneteenth, maybe. But I don't know.
I honestly did not think about that, bro. Wait, you're doing the Upland Turkey? We're doing that Turkey Trot again, bro?
Yeah, bro, come on. We got to.
Bruh, that course sucks. I'm not trying to. That course sucks, bro. The worst hill, like, that hill. They literally have a hill, like the last like 600 meters. A hill that's like 300 meters long, bruh. Not longer than probably 300. That hill is like 800, like 600 meters. Like the last 600 meters of the race is basically uphill. It's garbage, bro. And we keep on going to this every single. The first mile of this race is downhill. Like, bro, this course is horrible. I hate it.
Yeah, I mean, I've thrown up almost every time we've ran this, but this is literally every time I've like been like running and I'm like gagging or throwing up. Like that's how hard it is. But I literally would not train at all. This time I've actually been training a little bit, so I'm excited. I know I'm gonna still be in pain. I'm gonna be hurting a lot. But I'm excited to like not be. Even last year I was in better shape. I was decent. I was running a decent amount, but yeah, it's not gonna be as terrible this time.
But that's where I'm at too. I'm all like, because you're in like shape this time, and you never beat me here in this Turkey Trot, and now I'm not in shape. I'm all like, sorry, bro. I tried. I don't know if I'm gonna do this one time, bro. I may sit out, to be honest with you.
Come on, bro. That's soft, man. I went some years with not even running at all before, bro. You gotta run, bro. I gotta come. I gotta see who comes out, bro. Like, you know, if it's a good day, you never know. We might end up. Might end up with a W, bro. You know what I'm saying?
There's always some random 34-year-old, bro. But last year it wasn't even that fast, bro. Last year, what they ran 16:43, bro. I ran that 2 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, but they ran that. But like, I ran that 2 years ago. Remember? I ran that 2 years ago in the 5K, and I wasn't in that good of shape. But like, so like,
that's what won it.
Yeah, that was the two college kids, Jeremiah and Andrew. It was like
they were chilling, bro.
Yeah, they were chilling. Like I was like, dang. So we'll see who comes in. But let's get into it, man. Talking about some college. That's really the theme today. We're talking cross country. We're talking 5Ks, talking 8Ks, 10Ks. NCAA cross country championships just went down this past Saturday. Let's talk about some recap. We got 3 questions that I really want to get to, Aaron, of just that really sums up the entire meet. We can talk about like it all day, like honestly, but let's sum it up in these 3 questions. First, right here, Dave Smith went out and said after beating NAU 49 points, they did that against NAU 71. They stopped NAU from getting a 4P. I believe they would have been the only other team in NCAA history to do that. Only other team that did that was Arkansas back in the 90s. Well, Oklahoma State and Dave Smith, they stopped them, had 5 guys finish in the top 15. After the race, Dave Smith said, we had to beat one of the greatest teams of all time in the NCAA, not just in cross country, but in all sports. NAU has raised the bar for everybody and said, now, if you want to win, it's this level. Aaron, is that a false start? Is Dave Smith right about that? Was NAU one of the best teams in NCAA history? I'm talking about this, like, he's basically saying they the U level. They the U level, changing everything, changing the game, like what Miami did back in the day for football. Is that what NAU was doing?
Yes. And what did you say this was going to be for them? A 6-peat or something?
This was going to be their 4-peat, but then they had 3 before then. You feel me? So this would have been their 7th.
That's insane. This is one of the best programs. This is Alabama. You know, this is the Warriors. You know what I'm saying? You know, like when the Warriors were on that run, when the Spurs were on that run, when the Lakers have been on that run, like this is a franchise. Like we have Footsum on the podcast, and it's like, yo, you were the start of this. Like Footsum graduated in like 2016, and since then they have 7 titles. That's crazy insane. And look what it took to beat them. 49 points. Northern Arizona still scored 71, which is amazing. When you saw the press conference, Dave Smith and Mike, when they were joking with each other, he was like, what's it going to take to win points wise? Dave was like, what, like 75 points? Mike was like, yeah. And he was like, all right, I got like 74, so I get one more. They got 49, dog. They got 49. And I love what Dave said, because that's how you have to approach it. Like, you can't just complain and just be like, dang, like they're in altitude, like they're just so much better. How can we win? It's just like, hell, we just have to accept the fact that if we want to win, we got to have 5 guys in the top 20. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just got to be that good. That's the only choice. That's what you have to do. And that's why NAU is so great, because they force you to have to score 49 points to beat them. Like,
yeah, and like
it's crazy.
Like you said, the 71 is no joke. When watching the finish of that race and seeing all those Oklahoma State guys coming in, like really 5 seconds later, a contingent of NAU guys are coming in as well. Like Brody Hasty was not far off from Oklahoma State's number 5, but it's just like they were simply better on that day. I seen an interview with Nico Young talking afterwards, and he really put it to that too. Just like, bro, we got beat. Like we felt like we literally did what we wanted to do. They scored 71 points. You know what I mean? Like they said, that's what they thought that's what it would take to win. And like Oklahoma State just surprised everybody and scored 49. They literally just got beat on that day. And that was a great interview. You can see it on Let's Run or Citius Mag or whatever. But like, it really shows the maturity that Nico Young has underwent, and just like, yeah, bro, they just got beat. And like, hats off to Oklahoma State. They did their thing. They got some great freshmen that came through. These guys from I believe one of them is from Kenya, and like they showed out. They showed out for sure. Yeah,
and they're a storied program. I remember like when I was in high school in 2012, like Footsum was saying on the pod, like they had Herman Fernandez and they had Kobe Alexander. I don't know, but they had a couple really good guys, and like they had won, I think, 2 titles. So it's kind of like crazy to see now. It's like, dang, what if he was considering Oklahoma, you know? And like, imagine if like he would have went to Oklahoma during that time and they win these titles, because Dave Smith is a legendary coach. But just hats off to them. They ran an incredible race.
Yeah, and we have some really good races on the individual side as well. Parker Valby and Graham Blanks get their first ever NCAA cross country championships. We don't see any repeat winners this year. But Aaron, what I'm wondering for our second question as we recap the 2023 NCAA cross country championships, who had the bigger win? Graham Blanks or Parker Valby? Parker Valby gets a revenge last year. It looked like she was going to win. Katelyn Tuohy said, caw, hawked her down. You feel me? This time, Parker Valby, literally same strategy, went for it. Did not look back, held her side a little bit last K, but was all like, I'm still going to get the dub. Graham Blanks outkicked Habat Samuel from New Mexico and really let the hammer down. Gets the first ever NCAA championship for the Ivy League. Who had the bigger win, Parker Valby or Graham Blanks?
I don't know. Parker Valby was my pick to win. That's who I kind of expected to win. But in the mid side, it seemed like more of a wide open race. I couldn't really tell you who was gonna win. So that's really big for that program, for Harvard. But I still can't, dismiss what Parker Valby did and how she destroyed the field. And I'll give it to Parker Valby because, what does this mean? I mean, in track, she won the 5K and stuff last year too. So, I mean, yeah, what does this mean for her going into, these final years? How far ahead is she a part of the other competition around her? Like, are we going to see, a star, arise this year? This is an Olympic year. You know what I mean? So, like, the fact that she has these track and field stats with their two being an NCAA champion and cross outdoors, it makes me think, man, is she like one of those contenders? I think of Katelyn Tuohy. I think of Katelyn Tuohy, you got to think of her in the conversation of the 5K and the 15 on making the team, right? You got to, be thinking about it. Yeah, you got to think about it a little bit. So what does it mean for Parker Valby? We'll see. But we know she's in great shape right now.
Bro, I think I'm with you. I think I'm with the same, man. I think a lot of people are definitely riding high on Grant Blanks, as he should. He had a really great year, undefeated, and like putting on for Harvard. But I watched Parker Valby's interview after on the ESPN broadcast, and honestly, I was like, bro, is this my first time hearing her talk? Like, I don't know. I feel like I've never heard her talk before. And as she was talking, I was like, oh, dang, this girl is really interesting. She's really energetic. She's like bubbly. I found out, like, I don't know how I didn't know this, but she was like one of the first she's one of the first college athletes to sign a Nike NIL deal, I believe the first one. So like, she definitely is, I think she could be that type of personality, and like she has the skill set to do so. And even the fact that she runs 23 miles or 20 miles a week and only runs 3 days a week and the rest of it's cross training, is just like, what she does is kind of remarkable. So I don't know. I feel like that's a big win for her. And like you said, she's been an NCAA champion before on the track. So I wonder how this is going to do for her confidence going onto the track season and indoor. Like, it's going to be interesting. And like, she switched coaches this year too and still got the win. Like, nothing changed. So it's pretty remarkable, I would say.
I feel like we knew how great she was based off of what she had done in the past and how she rivaled Katelyn. But like, yeah, you didn't, I guess I'm trying to think of like interviews, but she just seemed very like ready for the moment. When she got interviewed and when she spoke, she seemed very ready for the moment and matured. And I don't know if that's something that happened over the last year, but she seems ready for it. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, and I feel like going into college for some of these kids that we put pressure on from high school cross country, we really want them to be ready for that moment. Like, there's these kids that come out here, the high school phenoms in cross country, and we want them to be ready for that moment in college right away. Some of the two biggest high school cross country phenoms ever, Katelyn Tuohy and Nico Young, may have just ran their final cross country races of their career. Katelyn Tuohy's a senior. I believe Nico Young's a junior, but he was even saying, this may be my last race. He may go pro after this year. And by all means, Nico, you probably should. Like, come on, bro, get your bag. So, I want to know, Aaron, for our last question, recapping NCAAs, did the Katelyn Tuohy and Nico Young cross-country era live up to the hype? Let's not forget, Katelyn Tuohy was a multiple-time Gatorade Athlete of the Year, three-time NXN champion, kind of has like all the record books on the distance side, and at NCAAs, she's a 2022 USTF CCAA Women's Cross Country Athlete of the Year, a 2022 NCAA Cross Country Champion, 2022 ACC Cross Country Champion. She was a part of the NC State three-peat that they completed this year. At NCAA, she's finished 24th, 15th, 1st, and 5th, and she's a two-time ACC Cross Country Champion. Then Nico Young, he was crazy in high school as well. A one-time instant NXN champion, but broke the course record when he did that. Super fast times in the 32, probably just one of the most popular dudes that you could ever see. Everyone knows his name, a Gatorade Athlete of the Year. He finished at NCAAs in his 4 years there. He's finished 4th, 11th, 2nd, and 6th this year. He's won 3 NCAA team championships and a 2-time Big Sky cross country champion. But these high schoolers, their era, did it live up to the hype, bro?
I think what I took from this era of high schoolers is like really good team guys and gals. You know what I mean? Like in the past when Edward Cheserek is coming out, we're thinking, you know, his freshman year he won NCAAs. Like that was insane, and then he just kept on winning. Or Herman Fernandez, his freshman year, I believe he like won in the 1500. That was crazy. And you know, Nico Young and Katelyn Tuohy, they were running those type of times where we're like, I mean, Nico's first year 24th or fourth his first year, which was crazy. But I feel like what we really got from this era, like you said, then NC State, she started a dynasty. You know, they won 3 in a row. Nico was a part. He's definitely a leader on that team and has kept that up. And I'm definitely their stars in their own right. But I feel like we don't think of them as just pure individuals. You know, we don't think of them as we would think of like Lowy Lalang when he was here, or remember like Cheserek and Jenkins, like they were on Oregon, but you thought of them as a dual threat. You know, yeah. I feel like with Katelyn Tuohy and Nico Young, you can't think about them without thinking about the teams that they're leading. So I think that I would say no, it didn't live up to the hype, because like I think they just created a new lane that people weren't expecting. So in a way, it didn't live up to what people like thought they were going to get out of it immediately, I would say.
Dang, bro, that was a really good compliment to them, to be honest, to say, because it was definitely going in like, definitely like, because Nico first time out NCAAs, they had that COVID, so he got a little bit more time, 4th place. Like, man, this is a big deal. This dude's gonna go off. Nico, by means, had a very successful college career, and he's gonna have an even better track season, I believe. But like, he never won that championship, and you can look down on that. But like, it is the reality of all, like, he's been a great team guy. He's been so attached to NAU and has been leading that team. And they both went to programs. They both went to really good programs, historical programs that have great culture. And like, that was because they wanted to be a part of a team. And like, even though running is such an individual sport, there's something that's important about being part of that team, being about that program, that system. And like, they did that at an excellent level. So hey, that was a very good compliment.
Think about Katelyn Tuohy's team. Like this, they lost their second best athlete with Kelsey Chimmel or whatever. She couldn't run. She was hurt and injured, and that team was full of a ton of freshmen. And they stepped up to the plate and won. And she's a senior and the fastest on the team, right? So you can't tell me that she's not the leader of that team, and you know, was a big part of helping those girls like rise up to that level. You know, I think about Footsum. Like Footsum, in my opinion, was a team dude. Like he was great, always, you know, top 10, like great finishes. But like I remember his senior year when they won for the first time, like he didn't really even go out with the Chesereks and them. He was running a team race. And I think these two teams of NC State, you know, I think Katelyn, we're gonna keep on seeing NC State, bro. Like they're not going nowhere next year. Like NAU's definitely gonna be on them. New Mexico there's always gonna be those teams, but NC State is one of those that are gonna be there. And I think Katelyn played a big part of that in her career there. So like that's a lot, like what we said with Footsum, like, yo, you started that, like that's huge. That's huge for you to be someone that inserted that energy into a program, in my opinion.
No, that's dope. And really hats off to Mike Smith at NAU and then Coach Hennis at NC State. They're really like setting that culture and being firm in that. And I'm pretty sure they brought Nico Young, Katelyn Tuohy in, like both of those coaches from different programs were all like, all right, you're this superstar. You're one of the greatest ever. Do it. But like, we ain't treating you no different. And like, you got a job to do here. Yeah. And like, hats off to the kids to like trusting that process, trusting that system, and that got them to places that they probably didn't even imagine. So like, it's cool. Like they didn't go in with just all like, I'm gonna be the best here and I'm gonna dominate. Now they followed in lines, kept with the system, battled through things, and like it all worked out at the end. And shoot, that's what team running, team cross country, that's what it's all about, bro. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. Now joining us on the podcast, we have a dude coming from Aaron's alma mater, like he said, from the zoo, APU, Azusa Pacific University. My man right here is a 3,000 meter steeplechase All-American, a 3,000 meter steeplechase Pac West champion. He went D2 because D1's too mainstream, doing his thing at APU, just coming off of D2 Nationals, where his team placed 10th place. I'm pretty sure that's one of the best finishes in Pac West history, doing his thing. Got the first APU Pac West championship for cross country as well. Yeah, y'all did that, right? That's a fact. That's a fact. Hey,
It's an absolute fact.
Podcast, doing his thing. Nixon Korir is joining us to chop it up for a little bit. Nixon, how's it doing? You're out there in Joplin this past weekend for NCAA's D2. Just how's it feel? How's it feel to be done with cross country for a little bit? You feel me?
It's looking like bittersweet because like it's crazy how time flies by. Just being with the team, the culture, just being a part of like a scheduled, practice and meetings and all that. So it's kind of like, oh man, I'm never gonna have this again. But it's been a good experience, so I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah, not to mention this was your last, official collegiate cross country race. What were just the emotions, towing the line, knowing that your last like collegiate cross country race was at nationals too?
It was a good feeling, definitely, finishing off like at the highest level you could compete for D2. But it was definitely like coming into the season. I came into the season just so intentional with how I'm gonna spend the time with my teammates, the coach, just experiencing all the moments and memories and taking nothing for granted. So I feel like it's been really good. So yeah, it's sad, but it's been a good like five years at APU. So
Do you
everyone pretty
still have a
stoked
track
though?
season?
I still have no track season, and then that's it.
Well, I was just gonna say everyone pretty stoked though, because y'all had an amazing year. I mean, you know me, I be trying to stay in tune with y'all. And I remember last year, y'all went to nationals as well last year. I think that may have been the first time we had a team get there, in the school history. So honestly, too, like I just feel like you've been a part of a big transition in the APU, cross country and track and field history. I was a part of a big transition where we went from NAIA to D2, but I think the class that people that followed me, like your class, we had a whole entire like change in coaching. I know you came in 2019, so you had to experience like COVID and being out, and like there's been a lot of like turmoil. And then I believe, like, I'm just thinking about your story personally. You're related to Aaron Rono. Did you come over here from Kenya, from El Dorado? I saw that shows you on your thing. So like it's a very loaded question, but with all of these ups and downs that you've been through at APU, just like how does it feel? I know you still got the track season to go through, but like to get to this point, like what does it really mean to you?
It means a lot. Definitely like with the coaching and like the OGs that we came in, like Nace, like Josh Nyberg, like all the OGs, Ryan. So it was really like a big adjustment for me coming from like like I didn't run high school, so like I didn't know like all the schedule, like having like a set schedule for like like a full year. So it was like a big adjustment for me, but they were like really there for me, make sure I get like acclimated with like running, just like the new environment. But it's been like tough too. There's been challenges, like you say, like COVID, and then I remember like in 2020 when they cut off like the football program, I was like, oh my god, they're coming for cross next. Where I was like, oh, it's us next. So it was kind of like,
yeah, that's crazy.
And it was like stressful for a little bit, but then I was like, if it's if that's the case, like it is what it is. But so I'm so glad they didn't do nothing to cross country. And then like there's a changing the coaches. it's just been like a real like big experience, like a really positive experience. You know, like just having Sean on the team, the way he's transformed like people, like bringing in like really good talents and like developing other people to get better. So it's like it's been a really good experience. I'm so grateful for that.
And I want to get back to that, like just the fact, like you were at, like I bet like from when you started APU 5 years ago, like it looks totally different now. Like you saw like a complete metamorphosis, over the 5 years about everything that's changed. But I think in the midst of your last response, you said you didn't run in high school.
Yeah.
Like what do you mean you didn't run in high school? How are you running now? Like what does that even mean?
So well, when I was in high school, I used to play rugby in high school. Like I never ran, and then I have like a lot of family that used to run. And they all came here to the US for running in school. So I remember everyone was like, "Hey, like if you want to, go to the States, go study, you better start running right now." But that was almost like towards the end of my high school. I remember like he sent me like a bunch of shoes and running clothes and whatnot. And then after graduating high school, that's when I started running. And I kid you not, I was probably doing like 10 to 15 miles per week. And I was like, oh man, I just ran. I'm that guy.
Yeah.
But then when I came here for the first time, we literally just went to Mammoth straight up. And I was like, wow, people are doing 70 miles per week. And then I was like, oh my God, what did I sign up myself for? And then I was just like, okay, it's time to just like, what's it called? Just go for it. Just train and get better. And it's just been like a long process, which I'm really grateful for.
Yeah, if you all don't know, Aaron Rono, is that your cousin? How are y'all related?
So he's my dad's younger brother.
Oh, okay. So it's your uncle.
Yes.
Okay, so Aaron Rono, that dude is the GOAT at APU. Like holds like all the records, like 10K. His 15 may have gotten broken, but 10K, 5K, like this dude was battling. It didn't matter what division you were in. This dude set the standard at APU. So what does it mean for you too to be representing, like you did like when I think of APU as an alumni, a distance athlete too, like Aaron Rono was that guy. Like I never met him or anything, but that was the standard for sure. And we share the same name too. So I'm like, okay, this dude's cool. But for you to be, someone from your family to have went here and done all he did, like you're leaving a legacy yourself. So how have you talked to him since winning Pac West and going to nationals and stuff like that?
Yeah, we'd be keeping in context, and it's just really awesome, just kind of following in his footsteps and running at the same track that he used to run to, like, like a while back. So it's just really like a blessing. Also like just being part of like the APU team, like the whole program. Gary Pine, like he's like a really nice guy, Preston Gray, like he's the reason I'm here. And
Shout out Preston.
Preston, and also like just Sean Smith, like it's definitely like that's where like I changed it a lot was because of Sean. Because I remember at the beginning of the season, I had run, I think 9:44 in the steeple. That was my PB back then, like his first semester. And then so we were having like individual meetings, and he was like, "Oh, but maybe let's have a go by the end of the season. Like we were running 9:20," and I was like, "That's quick, but okay." But then at the end of the season, like I was on 9 flat already, like dropped down for 4 seconds, and now I was like, "Oh my God, okay." It's definitely we can definitely like go to nationals, try and like be some of the best. So I'm real thankful for Sean.
And through that too, like Sean Smith, like really like got y'all to another level and really like brought in like you once he got there too, y'all got like a lot of recruits. I remember not this season, but the previous season, y'all were bringing in everybody and really like built a strong team that was competing at a national level like you guys currently are now. But just like, how do you feel like your mindset has kind of changed in running since that freshman year to now, because you didn't really know too much about the sport and especially like the team aspect of it? How is Sean Smith and everything that you learned over the past years kind of changed to where you are now?
I think just seeing the results from like, across the board, everybody's just like increasing, like running faster. It's not just like one or two people. It's like everybody across the board is doing really well. So I think that's like a really positive thing for like athletes to see, which shows like the training works. So it just fuels you to even like want to be, better. Like we don't put limits on ourselves. So it's just like really cool. And also like the talent that's being brought in, like the transfers, even like the freshmen, like they're still building up. It's just so cool to see how everybody on the team is, and we all like so supportive. And like the culture is a big thing. So
Yeah, no, talk about the culture. I see you all posting on Instagram all the time, like a lot of cool videos out there. What is his name? Who makes a lot of content for y'all?
Moses.
Moses? Yeah,
Moses.
yeah. That dude kills it. With a
Yes.
ton of the content. And I feel like you all have made APU into you finished right behind Chico State, who's traditionally like the powerhouse in California for Division II, and I feel like APU is like right on par with them right now on the men's distance side. But did anything change culture wise from your freshman year to now? That's like took you all over the hump to get the Pac West title.
Yes, I want to say maybe like my freshman year, a lot of us were still kind of new to running. So it was like a different, like, I feel like at the time we had like a different mindset versus like maybe like 2 years ago, when they brought in like the really like good guys coming in. It was more like, okay, if like I'm gonna be training with like somebody that's run this time, I can definitely like improve my time as well. So I think that's like changed culture, like having that culture, like that mindset of like, hey, if like my teammate is doing well, I can do well.
It's possible.
Yeah, so I think that's like a big thing too. And also it just makes APU kind of like on the limelight, where like people would look into options to like schools to go to. A lot of people are looking at APU now because they just see the way people are developing and like, just improving every year.
Yeah, and the girls team won back-to-back national championships as well. I feel like my team when I was there, we had good girls, good guys. Like APU is a really like a big track school, and that was always something we talked about. Was like, oh, trying to get, because we always had people making it, but we couldn't get the team together to really like win it all. But your women have already done that. So what kind of motivation do you feel now with, your distance team? You all did so well. How are you going to transfer that energy on the track and just help out, those sprinters and jumpers to get closer to bringing home some type of hardware as a team too?
Just seeing like a women's team, win nationals like two times, like it was 2021 and this year. So like just seeing them like do that, it's like, okay, guys, we gotta try and like at least podium. And I think that's like a really good mentality going to this year, because like this cross country team right now, that's probably the best it's ever looked, like at least in the NCAA era. So we have like a lot of shots of sending a lot of people to nationals and like fighting for that single point, And if that's the case, like the sprinters, the jumpers, the throwers, like they all do their part, I think we can definitely like be fighting like for at the podium. So that's like the big goal going into track season.
Man, Nixon, you really blessed, bro. Like this man really had like one of the best, like you've been around like probably the best experience in the past, like for your first 5 years. I know you had COVID and all that probably threw off a little bit, but like just the greatness that you've been able to be around, and like your introduction to running is definitely, I feel like it's awesome. What do you feel like you've learned? What's some key things that you learned from training around just great individuals? I believe there's national champions, individual national champions that you have. Isn't one of your guys, I think he's one of like your assistant coach now. Like he came from Oklahoma State and like he was training with you guys. So like, what have you learned from like these elite level runners, from not even just distance runners, but maybe sprinters, that like he sticks out about that?
But Joshua, this dude also be training in Colorado and with the homies out there. I'm sure this dude probably knows like Hillary Bohr or something. Like who are some of the people that you be training with when you go back? Who do you stay with when you go in Colorado? What family do you got out there?
So Aaron's my auntie Aaron's sister, my dad's younger sister, like she lives in Colorado. So that's who I stay with, like when I go out there in Colorado. And so a husband is like a younger brother. So like they have like the whole like training, like the all army running team, and they always run workouts and all that. So it's really awesome just being around like a lot of runners like them, just learning a lot.
Dang, nah, that's crazy. But what is one of the key? What is one of those specific things that you could kind of like point out, like learning from these elite athletes, like because you're training with them in the trenches. Like, what makes these
Yes.
individual national champions, pros? What makes them different? You feel
I want to say just seeing the way they view like workouts or just like the all team aspect. Just having like that positive mentality going into races or just workouts. Because if you're able to train with people that has like, you know, the same type of mindset and they're hurting, like, you know, they're hurting, but they're still pushing through. And it's the same thing for races. That's what I've learned like these past years is like pain is temporary. Like if I'm in a race and I see my teammate like way ahead, but I'm hurting, he's definitely hurting too. But it's just having that positive mindset to just finish the race. So I feel like that's one of the things that I've learned these past couple of years. It's just like persevering through it.
I mean,
like?
yeah, everybody it doesn't get easier. Like, you know, you see these pros and you're like, dang, they must like not be hurting as much as me. And it's like, no, they might be hurting more,
Yeah,
but they just know how to handle it. They could just push through it
yeah,
mentally. Like that's really like the big separator, to be honest.
yeah. That's true. Because even like in cross country, it's hard, and you know how hard cross country is. But like even like once it gets to AK, like people are pushing you. It looks like you're dying, but you just gotta, you know, push away the pain, have that good mental strength because everybody else is going through the same situation. So it just comes down to like who has like the wheel, you know, like who really wants this. So I feel like finding that balance and just knowing how bad you want it, you can always do whatever you want, whatever you set your mind to. So
No, yeah, I think that's definitely key. Once you're able to find that and like be able to have that decision, like I'm a hurt just as much or more than the next guy and like be okay with it. Like the sky can be a limit for a lot of people. And Nixon, I really feel like you're a perfect person for this question that I have. So I want to start doing this thing where I ask AI things. Just be curious. And I asked AI, like, because we're in championship season for a lot of people. You just got done with your championship, especially for a lot of high schoolers. They're getting the championship season right now. We got NXN, Foot Locker around the corner. Some some people still have state. So this can be great advice for people. But like for you, I asked AI, what's the how do you prepare for a cross country championship race? And they gave me like 13 things, low key, a lot with visualization, confidence building, pre-race routine, goal setting, mindfulness and relaxation, focusing on the process, adapt, adaptations, confidence and training, coping with pressure, staying positive, post-race reflection, mind-body connection, and self-talk. I'm curious for you, what's the most important aspect for you in preparing mentally for a championship cross-country race?
For me, it's definitely the first one is like trusting in my training. Just training my training and my teammates that, you know, like all this work we've been putting like preseason, like it's gonna pay off towards the end if we do everything right. So I just go into the postseason knowing that I'm gonna give everything I have, and some of the things I do is like making sure like I'm relaxed or like stress free, kind of the couple of weeks leading into it, and like having like a good sleep, like good nutrition, um, just and also knowing that before I go into a race, I gotta be realistic with my goals. Like I don't like setting goals as too, you know, too high and then let's say something happens and then all of a sudden like it messes up you mentally. So and also like understanding that we all not gonna have like good races every single time. We all gonna have like bad races, and just the way you get up from that is what's gonna set you apart from like everybody else. So you just gotta keep your head down for a little bit, but then come back again and keep grinding. My pre-race routine is, I don't really change a lot. I just try and make like the couple of days, like 3 days before a race, as normal as possible. Like nutrition wise, or like the amount of sleep I get, or like if I watch a movie the night before, just a little bit, just to get my mind off like things. But that's pretty much about it. I don't have like any like specific pre-race routine. Oh, I listen to Youngboy before races, so that helps a lot.
Yeah. You gotta get you in that mode, get you ready,
Yeah.
get you ready to punch somebody. I like that.
I'm gonna take this into account this Thursday though when I race Aaron in this Turkey Trot.
Hey,
Sure.
You don't need to listen to that.
You're gonna get him.
Yeah, bro.
You need to listen to that.
I'm gonna be jamming Young Boy before the race, Aaron. You better watch out. Don't get too close, or this elbow may be flying at you.
All right, bro. Come on. But bro, I'm just thinking crazy. Like, you really have only been running for five or 4 years. Like, you listed out all those things that you would do. That's important to prep. Like, you've learned. You're a veteran in this, and you became an All-American. Did you ever think this is where it was gonna be? Like when your uncle just gave you shoes, or do you feel like your ignorance to like the sport at first too? Did that help at all? Like not just coming into it, like not having ran in high school, like you didn't have. Did you have like these expectations before coming to APU for how your running career?
No, at all. I honestly just came in, and then I was like, okay, like, I'm getting a scholarship. Like I gotta like at least run well, But that at the time, that was all I was thinking, just run well. But I didn't know how good. But then this past like 2-3 years, I realized like, hey man, like this running thing, I'm kind of like liking it right now. So if I put everything in it, I can like, do good stuff. And the first one is just like making nationals the first time truck season. And then I was like, okay, like this is definitely possible. So like I feel like my routine and what I wanted to get out of the sport like changed like this past couple of years.
No, that's awesome. That's incredible story. Thank you for joining us, bro. Before we get you out of here, I'm curious, what's your goals for this track season? And since you've only been running for 5, you definitely pretty sure you got a lot into you. Do you have plans of running after college too?
Yeah, the goal going into truck season is I'm like trying to get top 3. If not winning it, it's gonna be tough because there's the D2 steeplechase right now. There's like a bunch of like some French guys from Wingate. So there's like some really good guys, and the guy from Northwestern Missouri too. So it's gonna be really good. But that's the goal. And then podium as a team. That's like also like one of the goals that we as a track team has. But I like to run after college. I don't know how is that gonna look like, but I think that would be like a nice goal for me to keep on running.
And I want to ask you this too, man. What legacy? What do you want to leave? Like, what mark do you want to leave at APU? Because y'all definitely have started with Sean, with your team over. Y'all have started, a new turn in the culture, elevated the program, and it's been proud as an alumni to watch. So what mark do you want to leave on Azusa Pacific track and field?
I want to inspire like my teammates, especially like the young teammates that just came in like freshmen, sophomores. I'd be telling them like, hey, because sometimes they have like bad races and like they so hard on themselves, and then I'm like, I try and help them like look at things like in a different perspective. That hey, like everybody's always gonna have a bad day, but like I was saying, it comes down to how long are you going to stay down, because other people, they stay down for too long, and then it ruins everything else. So I just want to help them realize that you can always like do great things, and not everything is always going to go your way, and just how you navigate all that is what's gonna was gonna like change it. And also just I don't know, just doing really well to like inspire others, everybody else to see that it's possible because we all train together. So
No.
Nixon, man. This guy was a 944 first steeplechase. Now he's running like 849, All-American. Didn't even run in high school, y'all. Didn't even run in high school.
It's been a good journey, so I'm excited.
That's wild. Thanks for joining us, Nixon. We'll be watching this track season, not just you, but all of APU, man. Best of luck to the team, man. Best of luck to the boy team. Hopefully those girls get that 3P too. That'll be fire.
All right, thank you so much for having me, guys.
That's cool, man. That's cool. That's full circle moment. Full circle moment. Having somebody from the program that I came from, especially, you know, we didn't even get into that, but having another black man, he probably was the only black dude on the team, I'm pretty sure. But he doing his thing. He a leader, you know what I'm saying? He making me proud, you know what I'm saying? He's standing tall for us and for his uncle, bro. You know, that's crazy. His uncle is Aaron Rono.
5 years is crazy, bro. This man just started. That's insane. Like, and he already, like, he's literally just a train with some of the best people in D2, some of the best people in the world on like a daily basis. That's fire, bro. Like,
yeah, bro. I really want to look up these. Let me see. I want to show y'all these Aaron Rono records, because that's crazy that this man literally got signed off of Aaron Rono, bro. Shout out to Preston though. Like, you gotta give Preston sign that man.
Chance.
Yeah, he was like, nah, I know your unk, bro. I know that you different. But yeah, Aaron Rono was running a while ago, so 2009, and the school record is 13:33 in the 5K. In 2009, bro, that was professional times. 28:13 in the 10K. Like, come on now. 3:40 in the 15 in 2008. Like 3:40, 13:33, and 28:13. That's his uncle. So that explained a little something. But shout out to Nixon, man. Shout out to APU. Love seeing that they doing good, man. We really almost beat Chico. We really gonna beat Chico. Like, we really.
Oh,
like,
okay.
The best. They're not a better Division II program in California, to be honest. Like, we got the girls are winning national championships. I mean, our women didn't do as great this year, but last year on the women's side with, I don't know, I think you know Jenny, but yeah, they were nice too, you know, so they're gonna be back up there as well on the distance side. But we gotta talk our talk. Go Cougs. Biola's trash. Just gotta say that real quick. Biola's trash.
Always gotta throw some shot at somebody. CBU last week, Viola this week. Like, everybody get his shots.
Hey man, that's how the ones that know know. I've always been that. I think
that's it for this week on the Two Black Runners podcast. We'll be back next week, another dope pod to step to. Honestly, have no idea what we're doing next week, but like, we're gonna make it happen. You feel me? We're gonna make it happen.
Yep. And everybody go out there, enjoy your Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? I hope Thanksgiving, we'll close out. Thanksgiving is an interesting holiday. You know, I mean, there's all the controversy about it. We already know about that. But it's a food holiday. Your Thanksgiving is only as good as the food that's being made there. So people that think Thanksgiving is underhyped, I was having this conversation at work, and there's like, I just don't like the Thanksgiving food. I'm like, if you came to my house, you would like Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving is really about the food that is going to be there. That's what really makes it. And I'm looking forward to greens, beans, tomatoes, yams. Bro. Like, you know, what all the food we got is good. So everybody enjoy your Thanksgiving. We grateful for y'all listening in, sticking with us all these years, man. You know, and excited to continue down this road, man. See y'all next week. That's all I got.
And we'd be really grateful. Leave a review. You feel me? Leave a review on Apple Podcasts. And you can do that on Spotify too now. You feel me? Leave a review, especially if you listen to this far. You down with it. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Have a good one. And we out.